Hi guys, it's me, Joseph Lenson again, and in this video, I would like to talk about a new low for Donald Trump and the Trump administration, because not only are they having Navy SEALers go out to sea in a record amount of time, 250 days plus, plus days, in deplorable conditions, but they're also having them being punished for wanting to leave that situation, and they're also not paying them properly. Now, the first case that I can understand why it's rule for the Navy to to have punishment for those who desert ship and the duties. And that's pretty much a standard. But the only thing is that because Trump doesn't give a crap about the troops or the people that run the actual ship itself, and the maintenance workers, the plumbers, the electricians, and so on and so forth. This is all in his head, on Trump's head. So the fact that he just leaves them out there and leaves them to pretty much suffer the consequences while he's doing a stupid war that shouldn't even exist in the first place is on his own head and the administration head. Because they are very negligent toward troops in every single capacity. I would like to see how sane Trump would be if if he had to be on a ship for almost 10 months now without shore leave, without working toilets, with really shitty food, with lessening rations and stuff. I would like to see him try to survive all of that. Meanwhile, he's getting steaks, burgers, fries, whatever have you, all luxury items that you can think of. While the poor souls are like just barely hanging on there. It's all on Trump's head for being negligent and for forcing these soldiers to into these situations with no end. He said that that the people on the ships, they can handle more, they can handle longer times away from their family and their friends and dry land. That's a bunch of poppycock. Trump is just milking the whole oath of service these fine men and women take to defend the country, not a personal oath to Trump. I can hardly imagine what it'd be like if the armed forces members did swear an oath of allegiance to the big fat dictator himself, how he would treat them like shit. Which brings me up to my next issue right now. I heard that the people that are defending the country, the Navy sailors, the Marines too, that are on these ships, that their pay is being stymied because Trump wants to use that money to help fund munitions, support the troops and all this stuff. It is again a little poppycock because Trump has been known to get whatever he wants out of his workers, whether they be contractors, whether they be maids, whatever else he got there working at his buildings and properties and stuff, and then stiffing them on the pay. So, Mr. God bless troops, I support the troops and all the other things. He openly said that people who served it and lost their lives all suckers and losers. which again is complete garbage, because anyone that is brave enough to defend my country and who is willing to give the ultimate sacrifice deserves all the praise, proper pay, proper awards, proper whatever else you can think of. You know, that idiot doesn't deserve jack shit. So basically, he's running the Navy, people ragged, not paying them enough, not giving them any food, toiletries, or in the case of the women soldiers and sailors, feminine hygiene products. Basically, he's running it like his own business, and then he's making people work to the bone for him, not giving him the proper due, proper respect, proper money. I mean, if Trump was so dedicated to all this, to making sure that Iran doesn't get a nuclear weapon, why doesn't he just pay for some of this stuff? Why doesn't he pay out his millions and billions of dollars and so forth? Why doesn't he just pony up some cash for munitions or new uniforms or I don't know, big guns or whatever? You know, instead of taking them the money from the people who are doing all the fighting, all the sweating, all the blood and tears and everything. Why doesn't Trump just pony up some money for that? Because he is cheap buck, that's why. He doesn't want to get his hands dirty, because he's a scumbag. Mr. God bless the troops. Never have I been so disgusted with him, and I'm sure that in the future there will come even more, an even deeper load that Trump will sink to. Probably making fun of somebody or something for the ultimate sacrifice or whatever. Which is, again, it's in line with what he does and what he says from past experiences. So even if the thing wasn't true about the pay, I could still see it happening because he's been on record doing that in the past for everybody else. So what makes Navy personnel any different in his book? They're the same people. They're the same chumps who in his mind don't deserve respect, and who don't deserve pay, or who don't deserve any type of equality because he's big boss. And they're like lower pawns. And I'm glad to report that there is an increase in people that want to leave the armed forces under Trump because they're what's the word for not discharged, but these are things term, but I can't think of it. Conscientious objection to the war, which is really a smart way to live the war. Because this isn't a national fight. This isn't like we've proven that the Iranians are developing weapons of mass destruction, all that. The opposite is true. Trump's own intelligence agencies said such that they're not developing anything. But Trump wants to believe that. So basically, this whole Iranian war is pretty much a personal crusade for glory to be the first to do something to take over the Iranian empire. But Trump is one of the guys who does a backseat warrior. let the other peons do the work for me. Well, I just sit back and relax and play golf all day. And I deferred the army when it had the good opportunity to do so, because my daddy's got money being sick. I would like to see him get a pay cut. I like to see all his luxuries get taken away from him. I would love to see him starve out like he's making some troops do. And I would like to see all his fortunes and properties and stuff go bye-bye and be returned to people who properly deserve them. Like the troops, like the poor people, like farmers and etc. And people that go on bankrupt because of his dumbass policies. So that's about it for these two things. I don't think it's fair to blame Navy personnel who want out of the ship because of Trump's stupidity, a lack of attention. He's bored of himself. And he thinks that everything will be all traded up by the peons over there, and that they have no right to complain about everything. But they do have it. They do have a right to complain about it because they weren't trained to handle such neglect and such non-attention by the president. And this is more of a criminal misbehavior on Trump's part. So let them just stay put there, not let them have any leave on anything, because those people will become relics by the time they get home. I heard that they're going to be switching out for another ship, another aircraft carrier, so that's good. But it came too late. And I don't agree with the whole, that they have to be forced to give a part of the pay to pay for Trump's war. If it was something where they were asked and they were told to do this on their own free will, that'd be something else. But since they're being forced to give a part of pay to pay for certain things with the war, it's just absurd and wrong. And Trump knows everything, but Trump's got to Trump. He's got to get out of it scot-free, and he's angering more and more people in the Army, in the Navy, in the Air Force, in the Marine Corps, and so on and so forth. And you know what? He's been angering many people in his MAGA base. The people who sent their children out to fight wars on behalf of the president. So anyway, these are two things that Trump has done recently that I just despise. And the Navy sailors don't last. They deserve all respect. They deserve to be honored. They don't deserve this at all. Not to be treated this way by a draft dodging asshole. So I'm gonna put my socials in the comment section below. God bless America and all of the troops, and fuck that piece of shit police that we have in the office now. Peace out, my brothers and sisters. See you in the next video, all you girls and guys in Interland. Sayonara, Auf Wiedersehen, and ciao ciao.